Here we go again. Oh my goodness. So not too long ago, we had the Tulsa mayor advocating for reparations for the Tulsa Race Massacre, okay? Descendants of that massacre. Now, I want everyone to understand that the vast majority of the American people snapped out, right? They just tuned out because all they heard was reparations, okay? And what many of these individuals who constantly profess their love for the country are very ignorant of the country. So they associate reparations with slavery. That's it. And then that goes into their whole NPC talking points where you were never a slave, I was never a slave owner, why y'all deserve reparation? We saw this not too long ago when it came to the head of education, where she was asked, hey, are you familiar with the Tulsa Race Massacre? And she herself, McMahon, was like, I'll have to look into it.
If this is a illegal DEI, an example, would you say that it would be an illegal DEI for a lesson plan on the Tulsa Race Massacre?
I'd have to get back to you on that.
Do you know what the Tulsa Race Massacre is?
I'd like to look into it more and get back to you on it.
Okay, so I look forward to that. How about the book Through My Eyes by Ruby Bridges, for instance?
I haven't read that.
Have you learned about Ruby Bridges?
If you have specific examples you'd like
That
to
was a specific example.
I'll be very happy.
It was an incredibly specific example.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I want you to understand, this is something I've said before, and not making it racial, just making an observation, how they view American history is separate from Black history, okay? That's what I hope you understand. They don't include Black history with American history. That is, they don't know anything about Black history, okay? The extent that many of these ignorants, okay, know about Black history is slavery. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. We had a civil war to free the slaves, and that's it. That's the extent of their history, of their Black history. Everything else was America is great, the land of the free, home of the brave, we're the greatest country ever. That is essentially, and I'm not even being hyperbolic, the understanding of a large swath of this country. Okay, and we can see this when it came to the election, the last election. That is their mind, okay? It's a very much a Neanderthal caveman mind. Where it's like, duh, America good, everybody else bad, okay? Black people bad, white people good. That's how they think.
He's out of line, but he's right.
And I say that because if you can just simply go over, glance over the comments of the video of the mayor talking about reparations, you can see it's littered with people talking about, oh, you were never a slave, reparations, yada, 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 yada. Now, mind you, this is a argument that was never brought up for any other form of reparations, whether it was regarding the Holocaust or whether it was regarding the Japanese and the internment camps. But it's always brought up when it comes to Black people. You just have to understand that is where we are in this country, okay? Not making it racial, just making an observation that this country is a very much an anti-Black country. That's where its roots are, and that's where we are presently. So in addition to that, this reparations is not even cash payment, okay? This has nothing to do with money. What this has to do with is housing and scholarships. We're looking to give grants for housing, right, to help people get housing and to help people get educations. That's what this is about. And guess who are the loudest dissenting voices? That is correct. Those on the right. Those on the right who believe this is a handout, who believe, oh, this is reparations, who believe this is about slavery, even though this has nothing to do with that. And we saw not too long ago that it's one of the main arguments they want to say is that, hey, you were never a slave. Now, this has to do with the descendants of this Tulsa Race Massacre, which it absolutely had an impact, just as reparations has to do with the descendants of chattel slavery here in this country, which clearly to this day has an impact, okay? Now, that was the same standard when it came to the Holocaust and when it came to the internment camps, okay? The descendants of that lineage. That is always a problem when it comes to reparations for Black Americans. That is always an issue that they have. And we saw that even when you are literally the person, okay, because they want to say you were never a slave. When we have the individuals who actually had to suffer through the Tulsa Race Massacre, they were denied compensation because they said it was unable to, it was unable to be achieved under, the way they brought it to the courts, right? Under the statutes that they brought to the courts, this doesn't fall under that. So as I said before, is that they will find a way, if it's legal or non-legal. If it's illegal, they'll make it legal. That's what they'll do. They'll find a way to screw you over. We just have to be better than that, okay? We just have to anticipate their wickedness. We have to anticipate the lineage of evil. And that's what we've done for quite some time. We just now have to get better at it. That's all. We just have to get better at it. So when they talk about, well, you were never, that's a false argument. They don't care. What they care about is you not getting helped. That's what they care about. They don't care if their people are dying. They don't care if their communities are impoverished. As long as you are impoverished, as long as you're dying, they don't care what befalls them. And that is a sick and twisted and an evil mindset. This is a mindset that has been conditioned for them, since, as I said, with Lyndon B. Johnson. That's where their headspace is, that they don't care. We could all be first descendants of slaves. We could actually be freaking just fresh off of the plantation, and we see how they treated them. Okay, I find it ironic that the party of Lincoln, that they constantly want to claim to fame, is that, they freed the slaves. But they constantly forget about, as far as, Sherman's order. They always forget about that. They always get about the reparations, that was supposed to be happening. They always forget about that. And I just find it, to be selective memory. So I say that to say this, is that at the end of the day, if we want anything to happen, we're going to have to fight for it. And I mean physical, I mean mental, and I mean a spiritual warfare. That is what's going to happen, because that's how these people, this lineage responds to. You're going to have to let them know that you're serious about what you want. And until we get serious, nothing's going to happen, okay? Because we have this mayor who's advocating for scholarships and homes, and people are still upset about that. Why? Because it has race in it and reparations. And those are two words that they don't like. Anything to do with race or anything to do with reparations. We see this now where they're trying to say, hey, we're putting an end to white guilt. Because in their heads, they believe that they've been guilt tripped in order to help black people. There is a section of the Republican Party that is putting this narrative out there that, hey, white guilt is no more. We're taking back the country, okay? And when we talk about anything having to do with reparations, well, you already know how they feel, okay? We had Tuberville tell us how they feel about us, because they believe that, hey, we're the criminals, and Democrats want to give criminals reparations.
They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. They are not owed that.
Wake up, nigga.
That's how they feel. So just keep that in mind when moving forward. And if black people as a whole, we want to have anything, we want any policies or legislation to be codified that would help us, but also benefit the majority of the country, we have to be taken serious, okay? So that means we have to act and behave serious. We have to let them know that we're not joking. It's as simple as that. The moment in time you take this serious, they will take it serious. We get treated how we allow ourselves to get treated. And in these political streets, I would argue we're being heavily disrespected. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think, whether or not you believe you guys don't need reparations, okay? Y'all just want handouts so y'all can go to the liquor store and buy Jordans. That's all y'all want. Or if you believe y'all are so ignorant and so crippled by your outdated stereotypes that you are willing to destroy the country just out of sheer hatred and animosity for people that, everything that you've shown to me anyway, historically, that you feel inferior to. Just an observation. I'm making it racial. Nevertheless, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me. Thursday through Saturday, disagreement day. You can call in and we'll duke it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think about this. And subscribe. And that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. Black people bad, white people good.